Alright guys, next we go to the next topic, hypothesis testing. Okay, what is hypothesis testing? It is a decision-making process for evaluating claims about a population. When we do not know the value of a population parameter, we would like to estimate that value. If a statement hypothesis is made about the value of a parameter, we would like to test whether the statement made is true or not. Okay, maksudnya kat sini, dalam statement yang dibagi, okay, statement yang dibagi itu, we do not know the right value of population mean. Okay, dalam statement tu ada value population mean, but only estimation. Okay, we do not know the right value of population mean. Okay, so therefore, we would like to test whether the statement made is true or not. Okay, so to test the validity of assumption, we must select a sample from the population, calculate the sample statistic, and based on certain decision rules, accept or reject the hypothesis. Okay, that means population mean yang dibagi dalam statement tu kita tak tahu kan, therefore we must select a sample from the population, okay, and then we have to calculate using the formula, and based on that value, okay, after calculate based on that value, we can make a decision, okay, whether we want to accept or reject the hypothesis. Okay, so look at the definition. Alright, before we go into this definition, I want to tell you guys that you guys please listen carefully and try to follow what I'm gonna explain this definition. Okay, try to follow what I'm gonna explain this definition, because I know it is hard to understand this definition. Okay, bukan awak seorang saja, sini-sini awak yang lain pun susah nak faham definition yang saya cuba explain kat ni. Okay, but after I explain this definition, we will go to the example, and insyaAllah from that examples, you guys will understand what I'm trying to explain about this topic. Okay, just listen carefully and follow what I'm gonna explain this definition. Okay, okay, look at the first term, null hypothesis. Okay, null hypothesis, it is symbolized by H0. Okay, we call it as H0. Okay, so look at the description, statistical hypothesis that states there is no difference between a parameter and specific value, or there is no difference between two parameters. That means for H0 ni, there are no difference between two parameters. Apa maksud no difference? Dia tak ada beza. Maksudnya dia sama sahaja. Okay, there is no difference tu, dia tak ada beza, dia sama sahaja. Okay, therefore it is denoted as mean equal mu naught. Disebabkan dia tak ada beza, dia sama saja, so it is denoted as equal. Okay, what is mu kat sini? Mu ni dia punya population mean dia lah. Okay, and then mu naught ni is a single number. Okay, it is a single number. For example, okay, for example of the statement, the mean weight, dia nampak lah. Okay, the mean weight is 70 kg. Okay, so to denote for H0, disebabkan dia is, okay, is that mean dia sama saja, there is no difference, so mean it is equal 70. Okay, this is statement yang dibagi. For example, so to denote for H0, mean is equal 70. Okay, kg ni tak perlu tulis lah, no need. Okay, just write the value. Okay, so for H0, function H0 ni to reveal the statement is not true. Dia nak buktikan yang statement yang dia bagi ni is not true. Okay, so H0 ni lah yang kita akan guna whether we want to reject or fail to reject the H0. Okay, so this is null hypothesis. Okay, and then second term, alternate hypothesis. Alternate hypothesis, it is symbolized by H1. Okay, it is symbolized by H1. So look at the description. statistical hypothesis that states the existence of a difference between a parameter and specific value, or there is a difference between two parameters. Okay, tadi H0 tadi there is no difference, right? There is no difference sebab tu dia equal. But for H1, it is existence of a difference between a parameter. Okay, that means dia ada difference dia kat situ. But for H1, there are 3 parts. Okay, it has 3 parts. First, when the mean is not equal mu naught. Okay, first part. Okay, when the mean is not equal mu naught. Okay, for example, macam mana kita nak tahu mean ni not equal mu naught ni? For example, the statement will give us the mean weight is different. Is different 70 kg. Okay, so this is keyword dia, is different. Bila dia different, dia ada beza. Therefore, it is denoted as H1 mean not equal 70. Okay, kita kena tengok pada hint yang dia bagi dalam statements tu nanti. Okay, this is first part. Second part, H1 will be denoted as mean more than mu naught. So how we want to know the sign is more than? When the statement give us the mean weight is what? For example, is greater than 70 kg. So keyword dia pada greater than. Okay, so it will be denoted as H1 mean more than 70. Okay, and the last part, H1 can be denoted as mean less than mu naught. So how we want to know that mean is less than? Okay, how we want to know when we denote H1 mean less than mu naught? When the statement give us the mean weight is less than 70 kg. Okay, so the keyword is less than. Therefore, H1 will be denoted as mean less than 70. Mu naught ni, that means the single number, value dia punya value population mean dia. Okay, so this is H1. Okay, dia ada 3 parts, not equal, more than and less than. For H0 tadi, only one saja, dia equal saja. Okay, dia only ada equal saja. And then for not equal, we would like to test two tail of the area. Two tail of the area, that means the right tail and the left tail. Okay, for more than, okay, mean more than 70 kg, that means kalau more than, okay, when we found the sign more than, we would like to test the right tail of the area. Okay, when it less than, we would like to test the left tail of the area. Okay, so apa function H1 ni? H1 ni, dia it is represent the current condition. Okay, the statement that we need to test. Okay, the statement that we need to test. Okay, itu function H1. Okay, and then, okay, boleh faham lah setakat ni, insyaAllah. Okay, next term is level of significance. Okay, awak cuba fahamkan konsep ni saja. Okay, saya cuba explain ni dulu. Okay, next term is level of significance. Level of significance ni, that means alpha actually. Okay, alpha. Okay, look at the description. The probability of rejecting the null hypothesis, it is true. This level represented by the symbol alpha. The level of confidence that correspond to alpha is 1 minus alpha. Thus, a confidence level of 95% corresponds to alpha of 5%. Okay, before this, okay, yang estimation method yang sebelum ni awak belajar tu, dia bagi 95% confidence level. 95% confidence level. Okay, ingat lagi tak yang topik sebelum ni? Okay, and then macam mana kita nak calculate, nak dapatkan alpha, we need to 1 minus 0.95 and then you will get 0.05, right? So this is alpha yang kita nak sebenarnya kan, kalau before topik yang sebelum ni. Okay, but for this topic hypothesis testing, dia dah siap bagi alpha dia. Dia dah siap bagi alpha. This is alpha. Dia siap bagi alpha. So you guys no need to calculate 1 minus 95% confidence level. No need. Okay, dia dah siap bagi alpha sahaja. So awak just ambil that value for alpha. Okay. So alpha we call it as level of significance. Okay. Maksudnya alpha ni dia akan bagi dalam statement. And then next term, test statistic. Test statistic. It is a single number calculated from the sample data as a basis in deciding to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, test statistic ni, we have 4 tests. Z test, T test, F test, and chi-square test. Okay. Each test dia have a formula. Okay. Dia akan kita nak test statistik ni using 4 test ni using formula. Okay, formula yang berbeza for each test. Okay. But for hypothesis testing, okay, for this chapter 7, we only use Z-test and T-test formula. Okay. F-test and chi-square test is for chapter 8. Okay, F-test and chi-square test is for chapter 8. So, ignore this first. Okay, untuk chapter 7, we only use Z-test and T-test statistic. Okay. Maksudnya kat sini, kita nak test using these 2 formula. Okay, macam ni kita nak tahu kita kena guna Z-test or T-test. Later, I will explain. Okay, from the example. But, from this formula, okay, bila kita dah calculate using this formula, that value, function dia, okay, kita akan decide whether we want to reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. Okay, daripada value, lepas kita dah calculate using formula, that value tu lah baru kita boleh decide sama ada kita nak reject or not to reject the null hypothesis. What is null hypothesis? H-naught. Okay, null hypothesis is H-naught. Okay, and then critical value. Next term, critical value. Critical value, short form dia CV. Okay, saya short formkan CV, critical value. Apa benda critical value ni? It is Z value that we need to find. Z value that we need to find. Alpha ni, dia dah bagi. Dia dah bagi. For example, 0.05. Dia dah bagi dalam statements. Therefore, we need to find the Z value when alpha 0.05. Macam mana nak cari Z value? Okay, kita dah belajarkan sebelum ni to find the Z value. Okay, when 0.05 is alpha, that means the probability kat sini. So, awak kena carilah 0.05 kat mana. For example 0.05. Okay, that means the Z value is 1.64. Okay, so this is we call it as critical value. Apa function critical value ni? Okay, critical value, look at the description. Okay, the value of the test statistic that divides the non-rejection region. Okay, we call it is short form as NRR from the rejection region. Short form dia RR. Okay, function critical value ni. Okay, look at the next page. Okay, for example, when we want to test the right tail of the area, what is the sign for right tail? The sign for right tail is more than. Okay, kita tahu the sign for right tail is more than. So, we need to draw the graph. Okay, draw the graph. When we want to test the right tail of the area, that means kedudukan dia on the right side. So, yang kat sini ni adalah critical value dia, Z alpha. Okay, apa function critical value? That means this is limit. Limit dia saja. Yang shaded ni we let as RR. What is RR? Rejection region. Okay, rejection region. Yang ni kosong kat sini. Okay, rejection region. And yang tak ada shaded ni, we let as NRR. Okay, it is known as NRR, non-rejection region. Okay, cuba fahamkan yang ni saja dulu. Okay, later nanti saya akan explain kenapa dia macam ni. Okay, and then this is for right tail. For left tail, okay, kalau left tail macam mana? What is the sign for left tail? It is less than. Okay, the sign for left tail, it is less than. Okay, so we need to draw the graph for left tail. So the area is the left side. Okay, and then this is critical value. Boleh nampak tak? Okay, this is critical value. Okay, so yang dekat shaded region ni, okay, it is known as RR, rejection region. Yang tak shaded ni, NRR. Okay, non-rejection region. Okay, and the last one, two tail. Okay, two tail. Okay, two tail, that means we need to test two tail of the area, the right side and the left side. So we have two critical value. When we have two critical value, that means we need to divide alpha divide 2. This one also alpha divide 2. Okay, kalau sebelum ni kita we want only test the right tail, right? So Z alpha. This one left tail, so Z alpha also. But this one two tail, we need to test two tail of the area. That means we need to divide 2. Sebab dia ada dua two tail that we need to test of the area. Okay, so this is RR. It is known as RR, rejection region, yang shaded area ni. This one also RR. So yang kat tengah-tengah ni adalah NRR, non-rejection region. Okay, so RR is mean reject H0. Okay, RR, kita tahu RR adalah rejection region, but it also known, okay, nak bagi faham, RR ni is mean reject H0. NRR, fail, it is mean fail to reject H0. Okay, ingat this is important. Okay, ingat this term saja. RR maksudnya reject H0. NRR fail to reject H0. Why? Kenapa? Later nanti kita akan pergi pada example. Okay, saya akan explain. Cumanya take note this first. Okay, samalah yang ni pun take note. Okay. Okay. And then next, hypothesis testing common phrases. Okay, this common phrases ni macam ni kita nak tahu. You guys boleh baca sendiri. Okay, macam ni kita nak tahu kalau ada sign more than, macam mana ayat dia, is greater than, is higher than. Kalau sign less than, macam ni kita nak tahu ayat yang dibagi dalam statements tu. It is below, lower than, so we know that is the sign is less than. Kalau equal, okay, kalau equal, it is equal to, has not changed, it is exactly the same. Not equal is not equal to, it is different from, has changed. So awak kena tengoklah, bacalah, okay, macam mana nak detect, okay, daripada statements tu kita nak guna sign apa, whether it is less than or more than or equal or not equal. Okay, and next, relationship between the sign H0 and H1. Okay, relationship ni, setiap kali dibagi statement, we have to state H0 and H1. Dia mesti berpasangan, H0, H1. Setiap kali dibagi statement, kita kena statekan H0 dengan H1. So, before kita nak statekan H0 dan H1, kita kena tahu relationship dia, the sign, the relationship between the sign H0 and H1. Okay, so let's say this is H0, this is H1. Okay, So this is two-tail test. This is right tail, sorry, left tail. Minta maaf lah, tulisan saya buruk sikit. Left tail. And then this is right tail. Nampak dah? Lemak besar sangat ni. Entahlah. Okay. Okay. When we need to test two-tail of the area, the sign for H naught, okay, macam ni kita nak tahu kita nak test two-tail of the area, when the sign for H naught it is equal. Okay, so relationship H1 ni not equal. Okay, it is not equal. When we want to test, how do we want to test two-tail of the area? When the sign for H naught it is equal and the sign for H1 is not equal. Okay, and then how do you want to know? You nampak tadi? So how do you want to know if we want to test the left tail of the area? When the sign for H naught it is equal or more than and equal. And the sign for H1, relationship dia adalah less than. Okay. I repeat. How do you want to know when we want to test the left tail of the area? When the sign for H naught it is equal or more than and equal. And relationship with H1 is less than. Okay, partner dia. Okay. How do you want to know? We want to test the right tail of the area when the sign for H naught is equal or less than and equal. So partner H1 dia, okay, the sign is more than. Okay, kalau awak perasan dia terbalik. Okay, kalau yang ni H naught dia untuk left tail dia more than, untuk H1 dia less than. Kalau right tail dia less than for H1, for H naught, for H1 is more than the sign dia. So dia terbalik, dia opposite. Okay. And then rejection region, when we want to test the two tail of the area. So macam tadi saya explain, the right tail and the left tail. Okay, rejection region dia. Okay, when we want to test the left tail of the area, that means the rejection region dia on the left side, and then the right tail on the right side. Rejection region dia. Okay. Okay, look at example 1. Okay, look at example 1. Determine which of the following is a two-tail test, left tail test or right tail test. Okay, look at A. A dia bagi apa? H naught when the mean is equal 14 and H1 when the mean is not equal 14. So, what type of tail is this? Okay, kalau kita jumpa H naught mean equal 14 and H1 mean is not equal 14. That means we want to test two tail of the area. Two tail of the area. Tengok dia berpasangan ini. Okay, sign dia. Tengok pada sign dia. So, for A, it is two tail test. Okay, sebab soalan minta apa? Determine what type of tail. Okay, determine what type of tail. B. H naught, when the H naught mean it is less than and equal 14 and H1 mean more than 14. So what type of tail for question B? Okay, kalau dia ada sign macam ni, for H naught less than and equal, for H1 more than. Okay, that means it is right tail test that we need to test. Okay, right tail of the area that we need to test. Okay, so the answer is right tail test. Okay, last one C. When H naught mean is equal 14, H1 mean less than 14. So when H naught mean is equal 14, H1 less than 14. So what type of tail that we need to test? It is left tail of the area. Left tail. So the answer is left tail test. Okay. So nak bagi senang faham, okay, macam ni kita nak tahu kita nak kena test to tail or right tail or left tail, just look at the sign for H1 only. Okay. Look at the sign for H1 only. Okay. Kalau awak perasan, when H1 is not equal, that means to tail. When H1 is more than, okay, yang B, more than, it is right tail. Okay, dia senang nak faham sebab dia ikut arah. Kalau for H1, kalau dia more than, that means right tail. And then for C, H1 is less than, so dia ikut arah left tail, less than, dia ke kiri. Okay, so nak senang faham, look at the sign for H1. Okay, boleh faham tak? And then look at example 2. Okay, example 2, write the null and alternate hypothesis for each of the following examples. Okay, the example 1 ni dia just bagi direct H note mean dia apa, and then for H1 mean dia apa, right? Betul tak macam tu kan? Okay, for example 2, macam mana kalau dia bagi statement? Okay, sebab soalan dia akan bagi statement, dia tak ada bagi direct macam ni. Okay, so macam ni kalau dia bagi statement, dia bagi dalam bentuk ayat. Macam ni kita nak tahu we want to test H0 or H1. So look at example 2. Okay, yang A tu, to test if the mean number of hours spent working per week by college students who whole job is different from 20 hours. Okay, so awak daripada statement ni, apa keyword yang awak nampak kat situ? Okay, I repeat, to test if the mean number of hours spent working per week by college students who whole job is different from 20 hours. Yang awak nampak mesti is different, right? Itu keyword, itu hint dia. Itu hint yang awak kena letkan that we need to test H1. Is different, that means it is not equal. So we have to let H1 mean not equal. Not equal what? 20 hours. So awak just tulis 20 saja. No need to write the hours. Okay, just write the value only. Okay, so when the H1 mean not equal 20 hours, H0 apa dia? Dia mesti berpartner. H0 is equal. When the H1 not equal, H0 is equal. So mean, it is equal 20. Okay, apa function H1? H1 ni, it is represent the current condition. Okay, the current condition. H1 ni lah yang kita nak test whether the statement is true or not. Apa function H0? H0 ni, dia nak mengatakan yang statement yang A ni, it is not true about different from 20 hours. Dia nak mengatakan yang statement ni tak betul. Okay, sebab tu dia memang kena berpartner lah. Okay, maksudnya H1 ni kita nak test statement tu true or not. H0 is about opposite. Okay, dia nak opposite, nak mengatakan statement tu tak betul. Okay, this is for A. Okay, what about B? To test whether or not a bank's ATM is out of service for an average of more than 10 hours. So, what is keyword? Apa hint yang dia bagi? Dia bagi more than 10 hours. Kita tengok pada ayat yang dia bagi, more than 10 hours. What is the sign for more than? Okay, kalau more than, kita tahu more than tu, dia include in H1. So, we need to state H1 mean more than 10 hours. Okay, this one is for H1. For H0, okay, dia mesti berpartner. So, kalau H1 is more than, H0 is equal or less than and equal. Nak selamat, you guys buat mean equal 10. Okay, kenapa equal? Kenapa tak letak less than equal? Okay, kalau tengok pada H0, kalau awak perasan, sign dia sentiasa ada equal. This is equal. Okay, this is equal. Even this is more than equal, tapi dia still ada equal kat bawah dia ni. Okay, sama juga untuk right till. Walaupun dia less than, sign dia less than equal, tapi dia still ada equal kat bawah ni. So nak selamat, awak letak H0 mean equal 10. So no need to write the less than equal. Okay, letak je equal. Okay, always equal. Alright. Untuk H1 kalau awak perasan dia tak ada equal. Okay, untuk H1 kalau awak perasan dia tak ada equal. Okay, only for H0 always be equal. Okay, so ini yang kita nak. Okay, write the H1 dengan H0. And then for C, to test if the mean credit card debt of college seniors is less than 100. Yeah, okay, is less than 100. So, apa keyword yang dia bagi kat situ? Less than. So, that means we want to test H1 mean less than 100. And then H0 mean equal 100. Always be equal. Okay. Dia faham setakat ni? Okay, yang ni just mukadimah dulu. Okay, dia bagi statements. Macam ni kita nak tahu statements yang dia bagi tu, kita nak kena guna sign apa? Sign less than or more than or not equal. Ini contoh-contoh dia untuk example tu. Okay. And then, okay. Look at the last one, steps in hypothesis testing. So, to test whether the statement is true or not, we have 5 steps. Okay, we have 5 steps. First steps. Okay, kalau tengok pada notes awak tu, state the hypothesis and identify the claim. State the hypothesis, apa dia? You have to state H1 and H0. Okay, itu first step yang awak kena buat. Okay, apa maksud identify the claim? Identify the claim tu whether we want to test the H1 or H0. Okay, boleh jadi statements tu dia bagi kita kena test for H1. H1 ada apa? Dia ada not equal, more than and less than. Okay, boleh jadi dalam statement tu dia hanya bagi dia nak claim for H0. H0 ada apa? Sign dia equal only. Okay, so careful. Careful bila baca soalan. Okay, kena alert lah. Okay. And then step 2. State the level of significance and the critical value. What is the level of significance? Alpha. You have to state the alpha. Apa value dia. And then critical value. Okay, dia punya Z value dia. Okay. Alpha dia akan bagi dalam soalan. Okay. Even dia bagi dalam soalan. Okay, even dia bagi dalam statements. You have to write down the alpha. Okay, that means alpha ni free-free je awak dapat markah. Okay, kalau awak letak, awak tulis, then awak akan dapat markah. Then, you need to find the Z value based on alpha yang dia bagi. Okay, so this is second step. Third step, determine the rejection and non-rejection region. How to determine the rejection and non-rejection region? You have to look the sign. Okay, you have to look the sign of H1. Okay, that means untuk step 3 ni, you need to draw the graph. Okay, draw the graph. Okay, macam mana nak draw the graph? You have to look the sign for H1. Kalau H1 dia not equal, that means the graph that you need to draw is to tail of the area. Okay, kalau H1 dia left, kalau H1 dia less than, okay, so the graph that you need to draw is left tail of the area. Kalau dia more than, the graph is right tail. Okay, so step 3 is draw the graph. You get the sign for H1 only. Okay, and then step 4, determine and calculate the appropriate test statistic. That means you have to use formula. Use formula. Dia nampak lah? Okay. Use formula whether you need to use Z-test formula or T-test formula. Okay, dua ni. Okay, between these two tests. Okay, macam mana nak kena pasti? Later saya akan explain. Okay. And then last step, step 5, make the decision and state the conclusion. Okay, step 5 ni, macam ni kita nak make the decision, we have to refer on this value, set 4. Okay, dia bila kita dah calculate, kita akan dapat value. Daripada value tu lah baru kita boleh make the conclusion whether we need to recheck or fail to reject H note. Okay, memang conclusion kita just nak reject or fail to reject H note, bukan reject H1, bukan fail to reject H1. We only make the conclusion reject or fail to reject the H note. Okay, sebab apa H note? Sebab function H note ni dia nak mengatakan yang statement tu is not true. So sama ada kita nak accept H note or reject the H note. Okay, boleh faham lah? Okay, this is definition lah. Okay, mukadimah. Right, next we can go to the example. Okay, this one is next video.